So we're going to have a look at shoulders, and we're looking at it from the point of view of some somatic movements. We're going to look at finding release. We're going to look at getting mind into your body, and then we're ultimately going to look at a little bit of strength. So to begin with, we're going to do only one side of the body, so you're going to have to watch the video twice if you want to be even. And poor Sophie's just going to do it herself when we leave. But we're going to start working with this side of our body. So firstly, let's just have a somatic inquiry. Release your shoulders out, hands out, and just notice how it is to be in this body today. And just noticing some very simple things. So often when people come to the mat, they're in this sort of a position. Notice that if you just allow yourself, give a little bit more space, your hands will be on the cold floor, but then there's a little bit more space for the shoulders. Also, notice whether the wrists are rotated this way or rotated this way. Again, what's happening with the shoulders. So straight up, have this kind of inquiry. The other part of the inquiry is how propped are they? That means how much. Now in Sophie's case, we've been doing some yoga before now, so they're not propped at all. But it could be that your shoulders are rolled up like this, that this might be our resting position, and you'll notice that people need to have something over their head at that point, and so it might be propped off the ground. Or you might be able to just have them release down. So that is a question. Where in your body is your shoulder, again, in relationship to the ground? The ground is a great way of getting feedback. Is it propped? Has it found release? Can it receive support? So once we spend a little bit of time at that inquiry, and it's really nice to compare right and left, because that gives us some sort of different feedback. So notice, is there a difference from one side to the other? Because if we've been living in a body that has always got rounded shoulders, we don't know what it feels like not to have rounded shoulders. So having a right-left comparison can be really nice, really beneficial. So taking a moment, let your eyes close, and you see, have that comparison. Right and left. What is the difference? What is the difference? I'll move this bolster so you can have the same relationship with hands. Does one hand like to be nearer to the body or further away from the body? Does one shoulder feel higher, nearer to the ear, or further away from the ear? Is there more tension down the waist, the side of the body? Is one waist, does it feel more compressed than the other? Into the pelvis and the hips, because you'll see why these are connected in a few minutes. Does one butt feel closer to the ground than the other? Is one harder or softer than the other? And just have a kind of a notice, taking this line down the center of the body so we can have comparison. It's worth spending a bit of time on that. We're then going to go on, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're looking at working with the shoulder blades, but obviously opposite to the shoulders are the front. So back and front work together. You can't be working on the back and not having an effect in the front. If we're over a desk all day and we found this beautiful rolled position that so many of our bodies love to have, our pecs are going to be tight. So if we just take the shoulders back, if this is used to being tight, they're just going to roll them forward. So we can't work with the back without working with the front. We can't work with the shoulders without working with the pelvis. So for now, let's just work with the pecs. So let's go up to our pec release. So for the pec release, what I'm going to invite you to do, Sophie, is to roll your arm in and roll it in until the back of the hand is touching the thigh. Now, I'm not really so interested in the back of the hand. What I'm much more interested in is this up here, how it affects up here. So your shoulder is going to stay down, but into this area here, into the pecs, yeah? Can you feel that? So you're rolling forward. As always, we go into the tension in order to come out of it. And you're going to come out as slow, as slow, as slow, as slow, as slow, as slow as possible, as slow as possible, as slow as possible. And then the magic is in the melt. We go into the tension, we come out of it as slow as possible, noticing, you're going to repeat it now 2 more times. You're going to notice, where is it jumpy jerky? Where, as you roll back, is there places that are jumpy jerky? This is where we've got sort of maybe somatic amnesia, or maybe we've lost a little mind-body connection there, or there's a little bit of restriction. But you're going to do that 3 times. Have you done that again? No? So I'm giving the instruction from the palm of the hand, the back of the palm of the hand, but it's really about this beautiful movement that's happening up here. And then slow, 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 slowly low, unrolling, unrolling, unrolling. So while she's unrolling here, the unraveling is actually happening up here. So this whole arm is just, and then the magic is in the melt. 3rd time. Do take the time to melt. That's when the release happens in the muscles. And come in as much as tight as you can. And then release back. Smoothing it out. See if there's any jumpy, jerky movements. Unwind, unravel, and then melt. It can be nice to just place a hand on it, just to get that nervous system settled, depending. So her other hand could go on it, maybe, or not. So if you want to just try, see what it's like to place this hand on it, just to let the melt happen. We're only starting, so that's our pec release. Then we're going to come into shoulder sling. So shoulder sling is taking your arm into the air, active hands, and a bit like we do this in side roll too, just lifting. And so you start to notice now where the shoulder blade is and how it's connected to the waist. Can you feel how that's connected to your waist? And then releasing back, slow, 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 and melt. Doing that 3 times. So going again. And then go up, 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 up. Oh, feel the freedom. A lot more freedom that time. Can you feel that? That's beautiful. Releasing back as slow as possible. And then taking a moment to melt. And then we look at releasing that shoulder down. Beautiful. One more time. Rolling up, 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 up. And then releasing, 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 releasing. From here, I'm going to bring her into half side roll, only just to extend. We're going to continue this movement, but in a different orientation and see what freedom is going to take place. So you're actually coming onto this side, and I'll get out of your way. So bending your knees up, rolling over onto the other side, that side. Yeah. And so bending up the knees, feet out to fit to 90 degrees, beautiful, onto full side body. And here, taking your head back in line with your body, beautiful. Just taking that moment to settle up into side body. And now, one more time, roll forward, as we do. So I'm going to place my hand on your pelvis, if that's okay. And so now, in this position, this is what she was doing on her back, if you can remember, but now we can see much more clearly what's happening, so slide forward as far as you can. That was shoulder sling. In the back, now come back, then slow, 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 slow. In the past, you could only come this far because she was lying flat on the ground, whereas now you can continue on. And only go, you're not trying to get anywhere, it's really an inquiry about the shoulder, so it's more like to here. Can you feel that? And the head might want to turn a little bit towards me to see, so that it continues the movement, so it's not catching. Can you feel how the neck is catching the shoulder? So you're kind of pausing there. And then go back again. I'm going to place my finger here just so that you kind of get that feedback. Watch that the head likes to move. Roll, 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 roll forward. So shoulder sling, basically in a different orientation. Moment of melt, letting the nervous system recalibrate. And then bringing yourself back. Ease, 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 ease in. Not with any intention as to where to go, because today our focus in here is on the shoulder. So let the head continue the movement. And let the shoulder just release. And the arm might want to, that actually looks nice. How does that feel? Yeah? Perfect. And then go one more time. We're only going to do 3. Nice. And place my hand here just to let a little bit of sleep. Nice. Beautiful. From here, you're going to go forward again and then roll onto your belly. In this case, because I want you to be able to see, I'm going to actually ask Sophie to change orientation so that her head is on my end, because we're still working on this shoulder. Traditionally, typically in your own home, when you're doing this, just roll onto your back belly. And so now we've changed orientation. For those of you who've done teacher training and know about our arc, we have now found a new orientation. So I'm going to ask you just to lie flat on the ground with your feet, your hands. You can do your hands up like this and just let your head. Beautiful. So this is the side we're working on, isn't it? So we're working with this shoulder here. So again, now that you've changed orientation, take a moment. How is it for you? Is one shoulder different to the other or not?
Yeah, this one's looser.
Looser. Okay, fantastic. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get you to take this hand down by your side. And then, so this shoulder is just coming out of the game, and then turn your head to look at the other hand. So now this whole side of the body is just out of the game for the moment. The first thing I'm going to get you to do is take your hand out from under your face, so it's almost like you can suck your tongue. So your hand this way, yeah, brilliant. Now lift the elbow, just lift the elbow so we can find where the shoulder blade is. So I'm going to place my hand on your shoulder blade, release it down again, lift it one more time. This is what we're going to work with, this whole shoulder blade. So Sophie's shoulder blade comes from here to here. Yeah, this is what we're working with. So you can release that down. We're simply lifting the elbow to kind of go, oh yeah, there's my shoulder blade. Now we're on to shoulder slides. We're going to take this shoulder blade because what we want is to create freedom of movement. We want to see, well, I'll tell you more about what I'll get us started. So freedom of movement. So imagine you're going to take this shoulder blade and just slide it over to here. So just slide it to the center of the back. Now, I don't know whether you can see that or not, but people really struggle with this, which is kind of cool. I'm going to let you, and then release it back slowly, slowly, slowly. What Sophie did was a whole compounded movement. It kind of went a little bit diagonally. In this case, I'm going to place my hand on her shoulder blade. I'm going to place my finger here. So she has that sensory feedback as to where things are. So you're going to take this shoulder blade here over to this finger here. Now, the tiniest little bit of movement is all that is required. Whenever it goes as far as it goes, that's you done. And now slide back, slow, 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 slow. And then the melt. Just let it melt. Yeah? So see now, can you do that again? I leave my finger here. So you're bringing the shoulder blade over to me. Bringing the shoulder blade in this direction. Whoa, see how hard this is. And then bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Slide, 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 slide. And melt. Lovely melt. Melts. Beautiful. Let's go one more time. Yes, now can you feel how much more freedom is in that body now, in that shoulder blade coming here? What we're looking at doing is we find ways, and on your way back you're looking to make it as unjerky as possible. Beautiful. We find ways of doing what we need to do, but we don't always have full range of movement. So Sophie initially couldn't find that pathway. This will be different. You're going to go take it down to your waist, okay? So down towards here. Take the shoulder blade down towards here. In this case, her shoulder blade has no problem with that. Often for people, you'll find they can do one but not the other. So go ahead and then slide back, 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 and then the melt. Let the melt come. And then go again, down towards the waist. So you can see her shoulder blade moving, doesn't need any support from me at all in this direction. Some people, you'll find it's completely different for different people. Coming back down towards here, and then slow, 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 slow. See the jerky? That's what we're looking to smooth out. That's where our somatic amnesia is. And then the melt. Let the integration happen. Last time, shoulder blade to waist. Beautiful. Wow, look at that for clarity. We're looking for that beautiful clarity of movement. Down and now smooth, 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 smooth return. And you can see this is only her third time to do it, and how much clearer it's got. Beautiful. And then the melt, which is where we're going to combine both of those movements. If you can remember, that was what Sophie did initially. When she tried to move this way, she went diagonally. We're going to combine both those movements, which means it's going to move to the opposite waist. So the shoulder blade is come to the opposite waist, and now it's going down. So come more over to me. Yeah. And then again, releasing back slowly, slowly, slowly. Can you feel the work that's happening here in the waist? In order to do that, I can feel under my hand the work that this waist is doing. I'm going to place my hand. I'm going to place my hand on your shoulder. Is that okay? Just so you can get that feedback. So again, we can get a clearer pathway. So shoulder this, and I'm not moving her shoulder blade. coming to me here. I'm just giving her that feedback so she knows where her shoulder blade is. Lovely. So to go diagonal, you need to combine both the two movements we did earlier. And we saw earlier that this was her dominant movement, so it's still her dominant movement. And then melt. Beautiful. And then one more time. Yes, now you can see that it's still dominant, but it's coming, it's getting clearer. This side is getting clearer. And then, nice. Release back down. Slow, slow, slow. That is beautiful, Sophie. Thank you. And then the melt. The melt is coming. Fantastic. So what we're looking to do is activating all of the little muscles, all of the big muscles, all of the muscles, not just a few of them, because it's not that she can't put on her coat or put on her jacket, or that she can't bring her arms back, but she didn't have full range of freedom of movement because it wasn't so happy going this way. It could still get to where it was going, but it would take a different path. So we're looking to free up all the pathways and activate all of the little muscles so that we have more resilience in our body, we have more freedom, we've got more choice, and we're less jerky. Because what happens is we just skip the bits we can't do. Whereas slowing it down this much means you can't skip the bits you can't do. Brilliant. We're going to put a little bit of strength in it now, if that's okay with you, Sophie. So for this, I want you to place your palm of your hand now under your face. Sorry, I don't mean the palm, actually, I meant the back of your hand. Apologies, thank you. And we're going to lift. So we're going to actually do the two hands first. It's probably easier to lift with it's even. Now, we haven't warmed up this side. We should have done that. But see now from here, what is it like to just lift? You can lift your body, yeah, exactly. Just lift. So now I'm going to bring you back down a lot less. So it's not that she can't do it, but I'm going to get you to bring hands with you and lift. Don't lift so high. So activate. In order for her to lift, she's going to need to activate her legs to stabilize her. She's going to need to activate her back waist, so just a little lift. That's plenty. So everything has to turn on to do that, and then release back down again. And you can see now why we need the melt so much, because we are constantly holding tension in our body. If we can't, we needed the tension, we needed the stress to be able to lift, but then we need to let it go again. So go one more time and just have a look and see how this back body, everything needs to activate. So activating, 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 beautiful. And then release back down. You can take this hand back now, back down to your side. We're going to do a diagonal. Diagonals are really, really important. So what is it like to lift this leg, your left leg? So you're going to turn your head to look that way. Turn your head, yeah, so that the neck can be released, and lift this leg. What do you need to do to lift that leg? So to lift that leg, can you feel how this waist is working? And if I put my hand under here, I can really feel it's popped. So go long and lift one more time. So the glutes have to work. We really want to get the glutes working, and this waist is working. So it's this section and this section that are really working to stabilize and lift, and then release back down. And then melt. Let the melt come. Yes, lovely, beautiful. What is it like now to lift this? So you're going to sort of, as if you're having a little look over your shoulder. So you're lifting just the shoulder initially, and then you can bring the head. Yeah, so that's it. That's the movement you're making. So again, you'll feel here. Next time you can bring shoulder, elbow and head if you like. Yeah, beautiful. And then release back down. Now, what we want to do is see, can we do that now smoothly? So as gently as you can, lift. This has to activate. Can you feel how this is all activating to stabilize you? Beautiful. And then release back down. And then we can do the diagonal, shoulder and leg. Lifting both. Oh, and then come back down. So you can see there, maybe you can see there that there's a lot of work happening here to stabilize everything, but we want to find this freedom and yet the lift. So let's do that another time. Don't lift so high this time, do less lift so that you can see, can you get more containment? Yeah, much better. And then release back down again. And then the third time, belly's working, thighs working, legs working, and release back down. And now melt. Yes. So we're getting that beautiful melt from here, melt from here. And if you want to take the arm, whatever, if you take this arm back down by your side and see how that is, just to let this shoulder really just melt. Beautiful. Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm going to invite you to roll over onto your back whenever you're ready. If you're doing this at home, you don't need to move so fast. And just shimmy yourself back. And now one more time, just release the shoulders and just have a little notice the difference in the right side and the left side, the side you've been working with and the other side. Big difference? Big difference. So we're looking at finding full freedom, full range of movement, full freedom, and then adding on the strength and the activation when we have the freedom to move it. Because otherwise, only some of the muscles are working and they actually get tighter. And the magic is in the melt. The release afterwards is as important. And you'll notice that it's hard to access that at the beginning. You think you're melting, you're like, well, it's melted. And then it's like there's somewhere else to go. It's like the, or the, you need to wait for to get that actual melt where your nervous system has settled and go, okay. And then we turn it back on again and we get it working. We want full range of movement. We want full freedom to relax, to actually relax our muscles. And we want strength so that we can do what we need to do. Have some fun with it.